Mayang buntag, mayang hapon, mayang gabi, no matter where you are in the world.
Welcome to our channel, Feels to Phoenix.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
You're cheesy.
That's her line.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a live stream from the house today. Sorry about yesterday.
Okay.
Somebody doing a sound check for me today.
Okay, good. You're good.
Yeah, I got microphone and all that crap set up. I think everything's set up well. I've been playing with that the last little bit. I'm hoping everything's good.
Let me see.
That you're going to have to give me a second here. I am going through and doing some invites. I really need to bookmark this.
Yeah, you need to. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to forgive my distraction at the moment, and it will be a lot better here in just a second. That
Did you lose it? Did I lose it? Hold on.
we're actually getting our technical difficulties pretty well solved. There we go. I believe that's everybody. We're gonna do a couple other invites today to see if anybody else shows up.
Good.
Yeah, I think so. You anybody that you want to invite it?
No, you're good. Okay.
Okay. We scrolled through the list of usual suspects and sent out invites from Phil's to Phoenix page. Good morning, all.
Yay.
It's,
Hi, David. Hi, John.
Good morning, David, and good morning, Mr. John. How you doing today? That do we share?
Yeah.
Yesterday was kind of a stereotypical Monday. I got a way late start. I woke up way late and just couldn't get back on track and moving. And by the time I realized I was supposed to be doing a live stream, it was already after 9. So, and then I just spent a bunch of time cleaning yesterday morning.
You did cleaning. Awesome.
And then we decided around 2 o'clock to go pick up our laundry.
Oh.
That was a mistake. When we got down, we went to turn into the laundromat, and I really need to start doing these through. I'm actually doing the StreamYard version, the same thing that I do on my phone on the computer, and I'm playing with and experimenting with that, and that actually may be the work through that I've been trying to find to do stuff just exactly like what I'm trying to do here real quick.
We got I will let John tell you all.
There we go.
A motorcycle. Kind of overtake, I think.
That we were trying to turn in next to that purple car. You can see the vehicle.
Car, yeah.
the vehicle, Sunshine's starting a turn. And some goof on a motorcycle came down the right-hand side and slammed into the side of Sunshine. Fortunately, there was no damage to Sunshine, but of course they cited the white guy. No tickets, but we're responsible for the damages.
Yeah, no tickets. They don't,
But the purple van where the scooter hit the bumper did it bad. It not real bad, but it tore up the paint a little bit on the bumper.
Yeah, and then I'm waiting for her call today to get it fixed. So.
But the place she wants to take it to wants a whole whopping 2,500 pesos to paint the bumper. I messaged our mechanic, and he said, "Yeah, that's about reasonable, and yeah, being a white guy, you're gonna get stuck. So just shut up and deal with it." Fortunately, Cindy was with me, and it was actually her door that got hit. And again, we got another mutual friend that he spends a lot of time here and the U.S. And he spends a lot of time both U.S. and here. And he made a comment a while ago about that. Mike.
Oh yeah, he just got ticketed too. Remember that?
But yeah, the same things happened to him. But anyways, so yeah, we like I said, we talked to our mechanic, and he said, "Yeah, that's pretty reasonable." So we're waiting for the scooter driver, and he's going to take his bike to the Honda dealer. Fortunately, the make and model he has is only like 5,600 pesos, or yeah, 56,000 pesos, brand new. So it's only like 1,100 bucks brand new. So it can't be that much to repair.
Yeah. Put camera in your vehicle. You will be thankful.
Actually, they had a security camera that one of the businesses in the area had a security camera that they downloaded and gave to the police. You can clearly see me in the process of the turn before he even enters frame, and they still say it's my fault.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, other than some really cool footage, we've got a backup camera that could have seen it. But even with it this clear of a shot of a remote perspective to see all the vehicles in the entire situation, yeah, they're still citing us with it.
You're a white guy.
And that our friend made comment that if you're the white guy, you're going to get cited for it. It doesn't matter.
You're always wrong. You're always at fault.
They have to be majorly stupidly at fault to the point where they cannot cite it to them before you're removed from responsibility, and even then it's questionable. And John, you are completely correct on that one. We've heard the comment from a source that is highly inappropriate. Well, he's got money, so it doesn't matter. And
I always have an argument with that, or it pisses me off, or it frustrates me.
To no end it does. But it's the Philippines. It is what it is. If you don't like it, go home. You're not going to change it. You're not going to modify. You're not going to anything. If you don't like it, go home.
You want me to share what you said yesterday? About when can I possibly book it? You're funny.
I've heard horror stories from some of these accidents that people have had of even getting deported over this stuff. And from the interaction yesterday,
they're all common. I tried also to not really grumpy yesterday.
And from the interaction yesterday, and from the interactions that people that had extreme consequences to this, I think a lot of it winds up being how you personally handled it.
Yeah.
Originally, she was saying we weren't going to get our registration or my license back until everything was taken care of.
Yeah.
but she saw that we weren't trying to fight it or anything else. And in the end, she just, settle it amongst yourselves, show me something in writing. And we did. And she quietly gave me back
Yeah.
my license,
The two
registration,
other-
and everything else. So
The two other people didn't know that. She returned.
I think some of it, when people have gotten the extreme consequences, that the people kind of instigated their own problems.
Yeah. But it was
The-
quite an experience, though.
It was an experience.
We never have an accident in Phoenix, and that's why
No, and
it was my first time.
I've had a couple accidents back in the States. My last one was probably 5 years ago. Well, no, it was 5 years
6
ago.
years ago. Oh, but you were the one who were hit.
Yeah, it was like 6 years ago, and I was the one that was hit.
Yeah.
And that wasn't terribly bad. And the guy,
You get
it was a company. No, that wasn't that one.
where is that you get accident?
No, the one I'm talking about is where the CRV got hit.
Oh, okay. I remember.
And it was a company vehicle, and they realized they were horribly at fault, and immediately just, hey, we'll take and fix your vehicle and all that good stuff. There's no sense in getting cops. And ironically, it happened to be a mutual friend of ours from a church I used to attend, and so that kind of smoothed my feelings and concerns. And so he said, yeah, I'll do that. Before that, it was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Right after her and I got married, I came back to the States to start paperwork for her. And about a week after I was back, I was coming southbound and made a left-hand turn onto a side street. And another guy was coming out of the side street and made a right-hand turn. And he clocked the vehicle hard. That's where, there we go. That's where I got this scar from. You really can't see it, but I've got a scar up here from it. It totaled out the trooper that I had. I think I've got pictures on here.
That's okay. But that was an experience. That was yesterday, right?
That was yesterday. That was our excitement yesterday.
Oh, you get the. You don't have the picture. Oh. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's what that looked like.
Before.
That morning. And that's his truck. And that's the trooper I was driving.
Yeah, because you're turning, no?
Yeah, you can see where it's at, where I got hit. But yeah, that was that mistake. And before that, it was about 10 years before that I had the two a couple years apart, and haven't had one since, and haven't had one for like 10 years before that. That trooper was the first and only vehicle I've ever totaled out. And that was an older vehicle to begin with, so there wasn't a whole lot of value in it to do the repairs. Yeah, getting rear-ended, that's almost always the person who rear-ended you's fault. Although a few years ago, this is before you and I met, my ex-wife got rear-ended. That somebody came and rear-ended a car behind her hard enough to slam her into the person behind her into my wife. And the person threw it in reverse and got out of there. But they didn't even bother trying to check it out, because at that point in Arizona, you're assuming it was an illegal without insurance. And so, but insurance handles stuff like that back there. That we called our insurance company, that they said, yeah, it's uninsured, and that they sent us, they came out, take a look at it, cut us a check, and that was it.
I may need to call our insurance today and see how.
So we're going to be calling our insurance today and figuring that out. What good, if any, having insurance in the Philippines does. So that'll be an interesting topic. And then we're also waiting for them, for the scooter guy to call us.
I think his motorcycle is okay though. I think, no?
There's not a whole lot wrong with it.
I seen yesterday.
I don't know. He wrote it to the police station. That they picked it up and he wrote it to the police station. So I don't know what all can be wrong with it.
Yeah.
He did have a little bit of a hard time starting it, but it had been laying on the side for almost an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, he probably emptied out the carburetor and everything else. But yeah, so far insurance companies haven't even been called. And I don't even know if either one of them had insurance. I'm assuming they do.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know what insurance does in the Philippines. We will know by the end of today.
Yeah, I need to check with the lady and ask her to text us when she's in the shop,
See,
so we could.
that the rules and laws I accept are way different here than they are in the West anywhere. Passing on the passenger side, whether the right and most countries or the left in the other countries would be illegal, and here it's dirt common. And like I say, that if you get an aggressive rider like that,
Yeah.
a friend of mine back in the States, that he was a motor cop for the state police, and that was one thing he made comment that the instructors didn't work for him. He was a supervisor, he was a sergeant, and one of the instructors that worked for him, that was one of their sergeant's big comment, is that there's old riders and there's bold riders. There are no such thing as old, bold riders. And some of these people are stinking amazingly, bold in some of the things that the chances that they take. And that's part of what scares me about here. Is it going to keep me from driving? No. I don't picture this being common, but if it happens again, I might go back and reassess driving, or at least driving in Cebu.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest with you on that one. If it happens again before we leave, I may have to reassess driving in Cebu. Because I couldn't imagine driving in Cebu during normal times, as bad as the traffic is here. But there again, probably about 30 years ago now, that it was a long time ago. My ex-wife and I were still living in New York State, and I was driving a motorcycle, and it was September, so it was a little bit chilly. And so we had heavy leather jackets, and we had, caps and the whole friggin' 9 yards. and New York State is a mandatory helmet state, which probably saved my life. But some little 16-year-old coming back from work, getting up shift at Burger King, came up and made a left-hand turn in front of us. And so I was doing 45, 50 mile an hour. And she made a turn, and we had maybe 30 feet to stop it. And, the cops said the skid marks were only about 15 feet long. And when she did, we were coming, and she made the turn, and I hit 1984 Ford Escort, just four-door Ford Escort, just behind the back door, hard enough that it drove me, the ex, the bike, and I all completely over her. I may need to go back and check that one in. For a while, I watched his channel, but for whatever reason, kind of got out of it. But on that one, I hit the Escort hard enough that I actually bent the back axle. My ex had a horrible injury that she bruised her spleen, of all things. Looked like somebody took a beach ball and stuffed it in her butt cheek, that it swelled up so bad. But both of us were taken to the hospital because I had some abrasions on my neck, and they wanted us checked out thoroughly there. But the doctor was all sympathetic until she found out I was the driver of the motorcycle, and it got all bent out of shape. What are you wasting my time here for? Be glad you're alive. Get out of here. And, well, gee, thanks, Doc. But, it is what it is. And again, the insurance companies handled all that stuff. That I made zero contact with the family. To this day, I'd never met the person. Matter of fact, she left the scene fairly quickly, and to the best of my knowledge, never returned. But the officer that was there said that she's the one that called, because this was long before cell phones. But the officer that was there said that she was one of them that called and gave all of her information over the phone. And so they were left with trying to figure out what happened and what to do. And it came back in a police report that the rear axle was bent. That's how I happened to find that out. But again, it is what it is. I don't know what to say, and it was kind of fun going through the situation. I didn't mind it. Fortunately, I didn't get hurt badly. The ex didn't get hurt permanently in any way. But when I got back up, I went to take off my helmet. And as I went to pull it up over my ears, the helmet cracked. The helmet cracked in half. Then from about here to the opposite side on the back of my neck, there was about a 1/4-inch groove. And one of the people said that when I went over the vehicle, that I fell away from the bike and tucked. And I landed head first on the pavement and just skidded until my shoulders dug in, and then I rolled and stopped quick. But the ex, that she went over and just, slammed on her back. They thought she broke her back, and the EMTs thought she may have injured her spine as well. But I didn't really have much problem with that, and yeah, he can get redundant and a little bit boring. He's kind of monotone, and his big gig is the walking videos, and some of them are kind of cool, some of them are eh. But And that's something I try to be really careful with on this channel is, and that's part of the reason why I don't like walking this neighborhood much anymore, because I've walked it so much. Granted, walking these streets can be a new experience every friggin' day. You can walk the same street for 10 years and never see the same things. The day we had the guy with a freaking bass violin come and do the bass violin doing the street music was kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, just the different sights you'll see never cease to change. Yesterday I had intended on and just didn't get down there. Today we're talking about it, and a little bit of it depends on what goes down. Yeah, I gotta work way more on camera presence and stuff, scratching ears and crap like that. Yeah, my stage presence still leaves a lot to be desired. It's getting better. The other thing I gotta work on is my teeth. The one, it was determined that it is gonna need oral surgery.
Yeah, we need to contact.
We went Thursday or Friday?
I think Friday.
We went Friday, and so we gave her all day yesterday. We went Friday morning, and she tried to contact the oral surgeon Friday morning when we were there, and couldn't get a hold of her, and said that it may be her day, you know, the other oral surgeon's day off. So I don't know. But we gave her all day yesterday. Still haven't heard back from her. So if we haven't heard back by noon today.
There's a super typhoon coming in signal number 3.
Where?
I'm not sure yet. I just saw it. You need to check.
Dismisses rumors of imminent super typhoon.
Okay.
Okay, so
It's just interesting how the news, how you could do a Facebook.
it looked like it at first. It was talking about a super typhoon coming.
Yeah, but it was just.
That they're saying Pagasa, the weather alert. She was concerned about a super typhoon coming.
I'll be interested in your channel. I need some to.
We've got a really good dentist that is Filipino priced. Green Apple Dentistry is a great dentistry,
Yeah, they say Western.
but it's dental tourism price. It's still nowhere near Western prices, but it is quite a bit more expensive than here.
Yeah.
Whereas this lady is Filipino priced and has every bit of as good, if not better, qualifications than anybody at Green Apple. Matter of fact, she was a dentist in Canada for six years?
7 years.
7 years. And so she does. She knows her stuff. Her family, Dr.
Quick.
Dr. Quake, her father or grandfather founded the dental school in Velez Medical Center.
No, Sibudak.
Sibudak?
Yeah.
Okay. But he founded one of the first or one of the first?
First.
The first school of dentistry here in Cebu. And so, yeah, the family is well qualified. She comes from a family of dentists. And she's third generation dentist. Yeah, she's third generation dentist. So she knows her stuff. But for the first consultation we did, that she went in, took a look at it, and said it looks like it's going to need to be pulled. Well, let's go get a panoramic, and she had me go do that. And that's one of the differences you'll run into between a Filipino dentist and the dental tourism dentist like Green Apple. Green Apple has the panoramic there in the office. They just do it. I'll have to look that up, David.
John asked if you're getting an implant.
Yeah, I'm getting to that one. Philippines experience, I'm not ignoring your comment, I'm actually getting to it. But Cindy made comment, the panoramic that we did at Green Apple was more expensive than the one we did here,
Yeah,
but it was still way under half of what it would be in the US.
gonna work.
So I went down and did the panoramic, and they gave you the panoramic. I had the thing, but I do have the scan of it. And so we went back, and that morning, went back the next morning and gave everything in, and that's when we got the appointment. And her and I talked about implant dentures and just leaving it open, or bridge work. And she actually kind of discouraged bridge work, surprisingly, that it's really expensive, that there's not a whole lot of benefit to it. That if you want to do a permanent solution, do implant. And if you're not interested in a permanent solution, the single tooth denture is perfectly fine. And I already wear dentures. So getting a single tooth, for the bottom, not a big deal to me. So I'm probably just going to go with the single tooth denture on the bottom and call it good, which kind of irritates me. I'll get to that in just a second. No, we didn't feel the earthquake, but these three and this one were indirectly because a tooth was removed. That I had a single tooth removed in a couple of years. He wanted to do implants and all that, and it was like $7,000 to do an implant. Insurance wasn't going to cover any of it, and I was not going to do that. And I asked him, why can't I just get a denture? And he said they can't do a denture for a single tooth. And so I just assumed that was correct. And a couple years later, I got a horrible infection. And she made comment about that these, one of them in particular, and one would be questionable whether or not there's enough bone left to do an implant, or they'd have to go with bone grafting and wait for all that to heal. And then it would be kind of a majorly, multiply invasive procedure to do. And so I'm perfectly happy with dentures at this point in my life. Without disgusting people and taking them back out, that they're the metal dentures. And they're, to be honestly, different. The dentist back in Phoenix did these three, but I broke this tooth when I was a teenager. And the dentist just pushed it back up, cemented the tooth each side of it to it for about 6-8 weeks and let it heal, and it worked. It held for 40 plus years. And I didn't have a problem with it. When it got the cheap dentures, that they put pressure on that tooth to the point where it hurt, and I knew there was a problem. Then, it's just you're getting used to them and all that crap. Well, lo and behold, after about 8 months of wearing them, the tooth cracked at the root where it's broken, and it just continued to get loose. He wanted $1,200-$1,500 to extract the tooth, and I wasn't going to pay that kind of money for what, in my opinion, would have been a simple extraction. And so, I said, screw it, and just, by that time, we were going to be coming here within a couple months anyhow, and already had tickets and all that good garbage. And so I said, I'll deal with it when I get here. By the time I got here and out of quarantine, the tooth had already fallen out. the dentist took an x-ray and said there's a tiny fragment left up in there, but he didn't see a big problem with it and didn't want to do oral surgery to remove it. And, for just that tooth. Now they are talking about, since they're having to go in and correct this, whether or not they want to go in and extract that piece. That they're saying it's almost certainly going to have to come out sometime in the future. If you just want to do it and be done with it, we can do it. If you don't, we can deal with that too. But I believe she said that the implant was going to be for this tooth, that it looks like there's going to need to be a bone graft or possibly a bone graft. And without knowing the dentist for sure, and I give you better figures later. We'll have to do side-by-side pictures. But or have you got an implant already? But I'm going to ask for a ballpark of what a quote would be for an implant just to get that, although I doubt that I'm going to go that route. But yeah, that's dental experience so far. And like I say, she's going to be calling that today. And we'll know more here in the next couple of weeks. So I may be out of commission for a few days after they get in and start cutting all the crap out of here. The earthquake, we didn't feel it here in Cebu. Yeah, Danielle, I didn't forget about you, or David, I didn't forget about your question. I'm just getting back to it. We didn't feel the earthquake at all here in Cebu. Mama and Papa in Manila, that they're in Parañaque, just south of the airport. And we didn't have, we didn't have anything, but Mama and Papa, I've never been through an earthquake here. Mama and Papa have been through multiple earthquakes in their time here. And they've been through some fairly bad ones. They've been through some extremely mild ones. And so they know what an earthquake is and what it feels like and what it should be. And it shook them up bad enough that they quickly exited the building, that they quickly got out of the building. And they're on a 5th floor condo. As a matter of fact, they're on a 5th floor walk-up condo. So it was severe enough to concern them bad enough that they left the building. It was nothing like that one a couple of years ago that emptied out a swimming pool on the roof deck, but it was pretty well felt in at least in Parañaque. Although Cebu gets them, I guess Cebu doesn't really get them that terribly badly. I guess this area doesn't get them that terribly badly. So hopefully I won't have to go through too many major ones. What was I talking about? What? Oh, that's not at all cool. Yeah, definitely go on that one. I'm actually going to call this a little bit quick because we do need to get down to one for. We were supposed to go grocery shopping yesterday afternoon, but by the time we got everything finished up, we just headed straight home. And Cindy was a little shook up last night, to be honest with you. It was her first accident. Yeah, it was her first accident, really. She had a couple minor fender benders from learning to drive, but they were horribly minor. And but yeah, this was the first one of any kind of incident. But in hindsight, one thing that she did make comment of is whenever we go to make the turns like that, that Papa will always put out his arm out the window and kind of stop people and motion to people, hey, we're turning out. And so she said she's going to start doing that in the future too, to try and help with that one. But yeah, that it is what it is. It's the Philippines, and you just got to be a lot more careful than normal. I was telling them that you've offered and said that you're going to start copying Papa, and whenever I turn right, you're going to be stuffing your arm out the window.
Yeah, Papa always did that.
Yeah. Yo, people, stop. May not be a good idea to pass right at the moment. But I'm kind of wondering if there hasn't been more than once that Papa doing that has kind of saved my little tushy from somebody doing something stupid like that.
Yeah, because Papa always do that. I always see when Papa, even when Papa is in the back, he always. And I said, "Thank you, Papa."
Yeah, I didn't realize. I didn't quite. I kind of noticed him doing it, but I didn't quite understand what it was. I thought he was trying to do a hand signal. And so, yeah, I'm getting this a little bit better, but it's the Philippines. Mahoni sa Pilipinas. Yeah, welcome to the Philippines. I guess that literally means this is the Philippines. That Papa taught me that expression. He was surprised and would periodically make comments about things going on in the U.S. And so I tease him about, hey, welcome to life in the U.S.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought about that one. I have thought about something like that. One of the things I'm gonna get is we got a set of the LED strip, but where they want to mounting it, it's not terribly visible. It helps a lot at night, but other than that, it's not visible at all. And so what I got to do is I got to get better measurements, and along the top rail of Sunshine, it'll have that way. Along the top rail of Sunshine, we'll have a high mount brake turn light so that we can do it. But yeah, I don't know. We need to do something. You've actually got me thinking, what it would take to do something like that. Have a little arm that comes up on the fender or something. I can see that freaking somebody out. I can see somebody ripping it off.
That's why I said stick up your hands and then go like this, because sometimes even your signal is there, they will not see this. Because I see that a lot with the people stick your hands and.
Well, and I'm thinking a couple different ways to do extra LEDs on that to help people see and realize it. But I don't know. It is what it is, and there's only so much you can do. That's part of the problem. There's only so much you can do, and you've got to, expect people are going to sense of self-preservation, if nothing else, will kick in eventually. And his just failed to kick in well enough yesterday. But yeah, David, I will go check out. I will start searching for Billy the Philippine accident and see if I can come up with that video and blog to figure out what happened. But it's actually coming up on 10 o'clock. We've been at this for 45 minutes.
Yep, thank you so much for joining.
We appreciate everybody that does swing by and listen to us prattle on like this. Tomorrow is going to be a walking live stream. I have no idea where. It might be the neighborhood. My preference would be sometime today to get down to and see if I could find some parking on that Baywalk area. And very cool. It's awesome that you did do that for your neighbor guy. That in a lot of places that they actually have in the U.S. they actually have a procedure that the police go through that if somebody isn't responding to a phone calls or whatever, that there's a procedure that they can go through to forcibly enter the home, check on somebody because neighbors and such just don't care. And it's not at all uncommon for somebody to be dead in their house for multiple days before anybody even realizes it. And one of the checklists that they have is there a human decay odor coming from the house? And I gotta love welcome to life in the West. But yeah, it's cool that you go do that. You're willing to do that for a neighbor to do a checkup, health and safety check. But I would like to get down to that Baywalk for a multitude of reasons. With everything going on, we haven't done this week's baby bump photos. I was kind of hoping to do it by the seaside down there. That I thought that would be a really cool backdrop. That what the intent was to go down way early, go down, 6, 7 o'clock, do the photos, let you grab a cab and come back home. I'd stay down there, do the walking live stream, and then after the live stream, do drone shot, basically spend, the entire morning down there. But I still haven't been down there well enough to find out whether or not there's someplace I can park and what the limitations on parking would be and all that good rock. So depending on what goes down today and who we hear back from and what we got to do with that, because we still got to hear back from the lady that the work's completed and we need to go pay, which is just down the road. We still need to hear back from the guy and whether or not the work's going to be done and how much it's going to be. And then we still got to hear back from the dentist. So,
And insurance.
And then she's going to be calling the insurance and do on that. So we've got a bunch of stuff to stay close to phones. Fortunately, the phones go with us, but we need to stay close to the phones. And that you need to get load on your phone.
I got load.
Okay, very cool.
I asked Chacha to load me. That's why I texted her yesterday.
Oh, okay.
To load me. Because I don't have load.
I saw that. That was way cool. Cindy said it went ballistic on social media.
With my friends.
That on Filipino social media that it went ballistic. It was their first gold medal in almost 100 years.
Century, yeah.
And so that was a way
that
cool
was
thing.
So touching. She cried, Oh, she's really strong.
Yeah, even the weight class she was in, 'cause she was in a lower weight class.
Yeah.
But even that weight class she was in, it's just not something you expect to hear from these burly weightlifters, even the females.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's way cool. I got a message a few of my friends back home, back in the States, and tipped them off to that was way cool. I'm glad that actually did happen. I'm kind of curious what, if anything's, going to go on here to celebrate it.
I don't know.
But
People start writing her story, the effort and everything, the training. She has a really good story. I need to look at that.
that could be a really cool story.
But it's 10 o'clock before you used.
Yeah, before I continue prattling on here, and There we go. I
But,
hope I didn't script the live stream. I got a notification. I tried to clear it out and accidentally clicked on it. But for today, from Cebu City, Mabuhay.
Bye-bye.